guys, and welcome to my channel, Blissfully Single Bean. I am your homegirl Bean, and I am your blissfully single one. Welcome to my review of Ready to Love Season 4, Episode Dos. But before I jump into that, I just gotta say, I'm sending all my love, all my good energy, all my kindness, everything that is good, that is within me, every good vibe, to DMX's family and wishing them the sincerest of condolences. I actually went to school with his family and friends my first and second year of college. So I understand, I texted them yesterday, so I understand the gravity of the loss. I actually thought I was ready for the outcome because my mother was in a similar situation. She had an anaphylactic reaction. It's an allergic reaction to a diagnostic test. Anyway, her brain went without oxygen, and eventually we had to make the decision whether or not to take her off of life support. But anyway, she ended up passing away before we had to make that decision. But seeing DMX's situation, I understood where things were going. But when I actually got the news that he passed away, I cried. I spent the good afternoon crying. Because as much as we think we're ready for loss, we never are. And DMX was such a phenomenal rapper. He brought this grittiness, this darkness to hip hop at a time when we really needed it. He was something so refreshing. But at the same time, I recognized he was battling a lot of demons. And man, just really unfortunate. But anyway, I want to send out my sincerest condolences, and I did write a blog post honoring DMX, a tribute. So please visit my blog, blissfullysinglebean.com, to check that out. But my condolences. Let's go on ahead and jump into this reviews. It was a good episode. It was a good episode because I like these initial episodes because you're getting to know the players of the game. You're getting to see who you're rooting for, who's like, yeah, I don't like you like that. But I have to say, by the end of this episode, Kyra is a favorite of mine. Kyra is the pretty attorney. She has such a lovely smile, but I liked her energy. I liked how open she is. And there's a situation that she tackled, and I like the way that she tackled it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm here for Kyra. I'm also here for Verneisha. Verneisha is the single mom of 3 daughters. I really like the way that she carries herself, so I'm rooting for her. And Stacy's cute as hell. I like Stacy's personality. So yeah, those are the 3 girls that I'm rooting for. As far as the men, hey, Joel's one of my favorites. And the reason why he's one of my favorites is A, because of his story. He lost his wife to cancer, and he's a single dad of twins. And plus, my favorite cousin's name is Joel. Hey, Joel, I see you tomorrow after church, boy. So Joel's one of my favorites. Jason, I like Jason's energy. And yeah, really, those are the 2 guys that I'm really rooting for. So let's go on ahead into this review. I got to bang this out really quickly because I got to take my boys to a dental appointment. Anyway, all the singles, they meet up at this gorgeous house. And it seems to me this season they're not going to tape in a bubble, meaning everyone's not staying on a resort. It seems like people are going to be back and forth. So you already see the Rona in them like, we're winning the victory over the COVID-19. Hallelujah. Diedrich's the cook. Diedrich, Stacy, and David show up first. Then Verneisha joins the crew in a beautiful, nice, and flowing magenta or really pink dress. It's really feminine. And I'm looking at Verneisha like, girl, you really classy based. And again, that's another point. That's another reason why I like Verneisha. She's a single mom just like me. So we're here. I feel the energy. I feel the good vibes. Then Troy joins. And as soon as Troy joins the group, I'm like just instantly annoyed because I remember what he said last episode, talking about he's not attracted to women who are a little thicker. Listen, Troy, let me tell you something, baby. You are not cute enough to be such an asshole. Leave that level of asshole to the fine men. You are not one of them. Sorry, not sorry. But then we start to get to know the people. You hear the girls talk, you hear the guys talk, and you're getting to see, the favorites. AJ's the music producer with the beautiful beard and the chocolatey skin and the bald head. You know, bald men with beards, they just do something to me. So I can see why, and AJ has that nice height to him too. So a lot of the girls were drawn to AJ. A lot of the girls were also drawn to Jason. Jason just has a fabulous, funny, like he's really out there type personality. He's like really easygoing and he's a good talker. So I can see how the girls really like Jason. Khalil is just like at first I'm like, why is he so laid back? But I'm like, is it laid back or is it socially awkward? I'm like, no, I don't think it's socially awkward because he is well spoken, but I think he's reserved. That's what the word is. Khalil is reserved, and Khalil's really not putting himself out there. It kind of seems forced. And then there was one point where Khalil and Jason were talking to a couple of girls. I think Stacy might have been the girl they were talking to or whatever. I forget. But the fact that Jason was so outgoing and, you know, he had a great personality to him, it really made Khalil's laid back or reserved nature stick out. And at this point watching the episode, I'm like, Khalil, I'm not sure about you, but let's move on. Joel is a favorite. Hey, Joel. And I'm glad to see that. But Joel's a favorite because A, he's fine as hell. And B, Joel's another one that knows exactly what to say to the ladies. Like every lady he had a conversation with, like they were just like giddy. Like the flirtatious nature of the Joel was on. But where I really liked Joel this episode was him talking to Verneisha. They're having this conversation. He's flirting. He's speaking so well of her. He said, "You know what? I'm checking Verneisha out. Verneisha is a single parent just like me. Verneisha is classy based. Look how she's dressed, and she's beautiful and sexy." He spoke about Verneisha in such glowing terms. Like I was smiling, and then the flirting, the back and forth. I'm like. I was getting giddy and Joel wasn't even talking to my ass. So, oh boy, you good. You real good. Davis and Leah. Leah is the CEO of a production company and David is the real estate person who officiates weddings on the side. They find common ground. They both love the Lord. They're into gospel. John P. Key, Hezekiah Walker, Donnie McClurkin. FYI, if you guys are into gospel, I used to be into gospel when back in the day, but check out TV One and they're uncensored. I was watching Kirk Franklin, Hezekiah Walker, Donnie McClurkin on uncensored. They're really, really good. But anyway, that's a side note. But David and Leah have this in common. So much so that they start singing together. Like they break out in song. So it is Jesus. Yes, it is Jesus. It's Jesus in my soul. And then David starts harmonizing with her and everybody's like, what in the entire hell? So they bringing us to church. I probably would have been looking at them crazy too because there's a time and a place and busting out into song in the middle of a mixer just doesn't, nah. But I still love the Lord. So the singles are talking and getting to know each other. And then Uncle Tommy steps up on the scene. Uncle Tommy, not for nothing, you really fill out a suit well. Really. But where was your wife this episode? I was looking for your pretty wife too. Tommy lets the group know that there are 10 ladies here, but only 9 men. Where's the next guy, man? And he makes the announcement that Chris is coming back. First of all, Chris, I love the yellow on you. I love bright colors on black people because it deepens our beautiful skin tone. You know what I mean? So Chris jumps up on the scene and I've got to say, I really like the fact that they allowed Chris to come back and take another chance at this because the way that pyramid head shaped heifer did Chris, what was her name? Naya? That funny looking chick. Yeah, she thought she was a lot finer than she was, but she's a funny looking chick. I didn't like the way she did Chris, so I'm really happy that they gave him another opportunity to come back to find love in this game. You know what I mean? So Chris, you're another one that I'm rooting for. Get it. Get it on the floor. Get it on the floor. Shout out X. Ron felt some kind of way about Chris rejoining. You know, he says, Chris has been here before. Chris has a competitive advantage. He knows the lay of the land. He knows exactly what to do to navigate this thing here. And I'm like, Ron, you're good looking. Figure it out. Jason, one of the favorites, and Alexa Sky. Alexa Sky is the news producer. They talk. Now, come to find out, Jason is actually the coach to Alexis Sky's son's basketball team. So Alexis Sky was already checking Jason out on the low, like dropping the son off to basketball practice and looking at Jason like, ooh, who your baby mama is? So she's letting him know that. And Jason feels really flattered, but I'm not sure if the feeling is mutual. Judging by Jason's body language, I don't think so. Now we meet Ida. Now Ida is Ida is strange as hell. Ida strikes me as someone who, I just don't understand Ida. First of all, Ida is called Vicky. Is Vicky on her birth certificate? No. Is Vicky the name that the mama really wanted to give, but the daddy went behind the mama's back and gave her the name Ida? No. Vicky is a character on Small Wonder. Now you have to be 35 plus to understand this reference. But Small Wonder was a show where the premise was one of their daughters was actually a robot. Well, anyway, she loved the robot Vicky, so her grandmother started calling her Vicky. Till this day, people still call her Vicky. Okay, Ida also has noticeable trouble holding effective conversations with the gentleman. One gentleman, she points out, oh, your ankles are well moisturized. You know, that's the problem in the community, ashy ankles. And then I think she says to Diedrich, you give me homosexual vibes. I'm like, oh, Ida, I want you out, girl. This is, I don't know what you need, but I'm not sure a relationship is it. Diedrich and Andrea get to know each other. Now, Andrea is the flight attendant who hasn't been on a date since she graduated from college. Mind you, Andrea is only a couple of years younger than me, so that's too damn long. Anyway, they talk, and Andrea's going on and on about this damn cat, and Diedrich is like, the fuck? He's not feeling this cat conversation. And I'm thinking to myself, Andrea, why would you go on and on and on about your pet when you're trying to get to know someone? First of all, not everyone is a pet person. Second of all, that shit is weird. But I have to realize she hasn't been on a date in close to 2 decades. So, all right, it made sense. Diedrich kindly excused himself to go talk to other women. And I cannot say that I blame him. Houston must have a very small dating pool. Because come to find out, Kyra and AJ actually dated before. And it was disastrous. Something about Kyra put her card down to pay for her part of dinner, but she didn't really think he was gonna use the card. She goes to the bathroom, gets back to the table, the card is in the same space, meaning AJ saying to her, well, you're gonna have to pay for this date. So AJ has a bad reputation of being a cheapskate. AJ's side of the story was when Kyra went to the bathroom, he tried to pay for the date and the card was declined. He said his card was declined. Kyra's card was on the table, so it wasn't a big deal to let Kyra pay for the meal. Nigga, are you crazy? That goes against dating rules. Are you kidding me? It's either you go Dutch or you pay for the whole meal. You can't have a lady pay for your meal. And we're grown as people. Listen, bro, I've been in that situation when you're at the grocery store, you give the card and the shit was declined. It's like, oh shit. After going through that situation once, before you go on a date, before you go to the supermarket, before you go to the Walmart or the Target, you check that balance and make sure you have enough for the meal, the tip, and the drink. Like, what is wrong with you? And you see, this is going to circle back to the first time to my review last week. This is why I don't do music producers. Because AJ, if you had a paycheck every 2 weeks, you damn sure would have had the money in that damn card. But anyway, they have a conversation about it. They explain things, and they get like Kyra understands. Kyra was like, you just should have told me what this situation is, but for you not to say anything kind of made you look crazy, bruh. You know what I mean? So anyway, they ended that on a good note, and they toasted to new beginnings. By the way, AJ was drinking a Seagram's Breeze. Seagram's Breeze was noticeably present because I'm thinking Seagram's Breeze, these are 30, 40-year-olds. Like, we don't try Seagram's. Seagram's Breeze is a kiddie drink. But looking at all the Seagram's Breeze and then seeing the commercials, obviously they're sponsored for the show. But okay. Anyway, we get to the part where someone is sent home. Now, initially, Tommy said it's going to be a man being sent home and a woman being sent home. But then he went and flipped the script, and now it's 2 men being sent home. Well, surprise, surprise, Khalil went home, and Christian goes home. And I didn't even mention Chris during this review because Christian he just didn't have that go-getter spirit. It's not that he was awkward. He was too reserved, and he didn't take enough initiative to talk to the women. So those are the 2 men that went home. And looking at the previews for the upcoming season, this is going to be good. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time watching, please give us sister a like, and please give us sister a subscribe. All you got to do is press like. Just press the button. Help a sister out. Until next week, love yourselves and love each other. Peace out.